Okay,
Okay.
I'm introducing our interview guest for the online Q&A, Julia Chang. And I'll just start with the first question. In Iku, we see a very heavy inspiration from cyberpunk fiction and like the neon aesthetic, the Blade Runner references with the title Runner coming up. So can you maybe tell us what were the strongest influences from different cyberpunk media?
Okay. Actually, I call this movie because it's like I.K.U. So I usually refer it as IKU, like a 3-letter, because normally iku means go in Japanese, and go actually means for Japanese means orgasm. So usually in Western world, we say, oh, I'm coming. But in Japanese, they would say iku iku means I'm going. So this is interesting about like orgasm. But because the movie is pretty much referred to orgasm as data, like orgasm data, so I kind of make it the title into I.K.U. so as different a bit from the just equal. So the movie was made between 1998, 1999, and was released in year 2000 at the Sundance Film Festival in America. At the time, I was invited by a Japanese producer, Takashi Asahi, to go to Tokyo, particularly to make a porno movie, because he actually had the intention of challenge the Japanese censorship, because in Japan, of course, a lot of so-called adult video movie with all these sexual organs that always have to be mosaic. The Japanese AV adult video has established their own sort of aesthetic with the mosaic on the sexual organ. However, at the same time, we're wondering if Japan can, for example, they can also censor like the photographer Mapplethorpe photograph. If you have Mapplethorpe have done a lot of photograph with penis, and like his book, his photography book is banned in Japan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like my producer actually want to challenge this about like why we cannot show sexual organ like as is, So when he invited me to make this movie, and I went to Tokyo, and I was looking at the scene in Tokyo and thinking about, wow, the set, the city in Tokyo is exactly almost like the Blade Runner set. And I realized that, a lot of science fiction film in Western world actually always have this kind of Oriental kind of fantasy or fetish, so you have neon sign, the TV, you even have the ramen, like the street food.
Yeah, that's true.
True, right? And so I was like, wow, okay. So actually, it was actually Blade Runner already in Tokyo, So I was thinking a lot when I got to Tokyo of Blade Runner, and thinking about how the story actually could work if I kind of just model after the story with the runner, the runner, the coder, they are all being used by this big corporation. Of course, in Blade Runner, you have Tyrell Corporation. So I kind of make up these Genon Corporation. And so here's the story kind of adapting a bit from Blade Runner. But of course, the other sense I have is usually in a lot of science fiction movie, you never talk about sex. It's like, oh, they just replicant, they had no sex or whatever. However, of course, there was so much sexual tension in Blade Runner between Deckard and Rachel. So the director, Ridley Scott, actually did shoot some sex scene between the two. However, that was cut eventually. So I sort of, a lot of these elements consider, I really want to do this sex movie model after Blade Runner. Of course, after the movie came out, people start calling it more like a cyberpunk film and putting me as a co-director. And I was like, okay, that's not bad. So I kind of adopted it as a cyberpunk, sci-fi cyberpunk movie. Yeah.
Okay. My next question would be that in IKU, like everything is focused on sex, like it's all encompassing. And every interaction we see more or less between the humans and the androids, it's like focused on sex. And like because of the cyberpunk aesthetic, it's always showing like utopias or dystopias more often maybe.
Right.
This hyperfixation on sex, do you think it's maybe something positive or negative in this world?
First of all, in the beginning when I was making IKU, I call it a sci-fi porn. And as far as a porno film is concerned, like porno film is, for me, is a very interesting genre because in porno film, there was no motivation, you know, like why are you having sex? You know, usually in a real sort of narrative film, you have to establish these two people fall in love, either they have the sex the first night or they go through a long time of pursuing each other, then they were in bed, you know, and then, you know, a lot of movie, you can spend a whole film talking about the two have some attraction and then finally got to bed. But porno film is more like episodic, you know, so I call it more like a pizza delivery. You know, like in a lot of porno film, they say, oh, we're delivering pizza. So you open the door and here comes the pizza and the pizza man enter the house and then you can have sex, right? So it's like interesting that, you know, in a sense that porno film express these human desire, this raw desire of sexual need. And I actually like the genre for this. So there's no pretense or like, why are we having sex? It's just like, yeah, you know, you grab someone and you have a sex scene. So IKU was, you know, although it does have a plot with the Genon Corporation, with the runner, the coder, but at the same time, the film is structured like episodic sex scene in order to collect the orgasm data. Yes.
In IKU, we see like androids having sex without love. That's the secondary title. And it's just a process of, with the only goal of collecting data.
Yeah.
And maybe this is a bit of a crass question, but is it a bit of a parallel to sex workers who only have sex more or less to live, to collect money? It's not about emotions, it's just about living.
It could be that way. Yeah, I never thought about the money collection or the data collection. Of course, in IKU, the bigger thing would be that you have this Genon Corporation who actually would be the one that get the profit from data. Then the same thing is true with a lot of sex workers. You also have a pimp who control the business. So yeah, I think the parallel is correct. Yeah.
Well, despite of the title, at least to me, it seemed like the main android Raikou, she had like a real relationship to her runner Dizzy. Does it just seem the way to me, or is there like really something different about their relationship to the others we see in this movie?
I think it's I really want to play with these runner and coder, you know, and then same thing in Blade Runner, you saw Ridley Scott's film that you saw Deckard and Rachel. There's always a bit of this attraction also, you know. So this kind of human attraction or emotion is not even human. This kind of attraction and emotion does exist. And I think also because I think the most important for me is to cast the IKU runner, the black man, as Dizzy, the runner, kind of black man. However, also play on this stereotype of what people think Black people usually have big dick or like sexually more active and all that. However, of course, the character who played the runner is actually a very sensitive person, and also I particularly cast the gender, the sexuality being different. So that also makes the difference, play on this stereotypical male chauvinism, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, in the end, like his like sexual organ, it's basically changed, like it's fluctuating between the sexes, basically.
Yeah, it was revealed, so we should not spoil.
I think this will be shown after the movie.
Oh,
so.
okay, so then we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So I did play on that from the beginning scene in the elevator until the last scene in the elevator. I play on these sort of sexual symbol, for the male, so yeah.
My next question would be that now more than ever, like AI, it's like entirely intertwined with the mainstream culture. Like we have like, when I go to the internet, I see like a lot of AI created artworks. Like a few months ago, there was like this big trend with ChatGPT and like how it influences academic writing. So, and also chatbots, which maybe is a bit more interesting. Like the relationship between artificial intelligence, it has really changed. Like only like just thinking about this year. What's the relationship people have, like humans have, with androids in this movie? Like you.
Interesting. I'm just writing an interview with an AI right now. It's on my desktop. Oh, that's so funny. And also, I just have a new artwork. It's about AI also. That's opening tonight in Norway.
Okay.
Yeah, so interesting. Yes, I think AI, of course, becomes such a phenomenon. However, of course, if we consider the AI is really a lot about the data, how do we feed the data to the AI? And a lot of these data, of course, belong to, we all created these data that feed into the AI. In a certain way, we were for past I think almost 20 years now, we've been advocating Creative Commons. So we donate our data to these internet, and of course all these data are being now used for the AI sort of library. In a way that I keep coming back to the data, like I consider orgasm as a data. And when you think about anything that is data, that means it become a tangible property, meaning you can sell it, you can resell it, you can recycle it. So in IKU, you see this orgasm data being recycled and eventually sold as the chip. And so this is the kind of how the system operated, I think.
Yeah, it's really interesting, like how the data that's collected is like furnished into something new, which can then be sold. And with like how abstract the word data is, like it's not only like media, like images, it's also can also be like experiences, like you show in the movie, and maybe in the future this could also be like collected as data.
Yes, of course. Yeah, of course. I think at the end you think about this, what we call the big data or the data vault, and AI exactly is taking every of the knowledge from these vast library. However, my own interest is about the so-called AI alignment, how the AI is being managed, like who gives the data to AI, whose data is it, and then at the end also the AI system actually involve a lot of correction. The so-called AI alignment is to make sure that AI is not is ethically correct. You know, there's a lot of these. So this is actually the topic I'm dealing with in terms of my own AI research. Yeah.
Yeah, then I would already have my last question.
Yes.
Because this year you released a new visual project, IKU, and the name and the slogan, "This is not sex, this is love." Like, it's very much a parallel to
Yuki, you mean? My new movie is called Yuki. Yeah.
Oh, I wrote them down in the
yeah, IKU was the it's like a sequel
sorry.
to IKU, so it's called Yuki. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, sorry.
Can you tell us about this new visual project of yours?
Okay, so actually in IKU, I call it "This is sex, this is not love," and as we just talked about, in IKU is about sex, to collect orgasm data, and then you basically have Reiko, who as an IKU coder, a replicant who collect data and is being used, and eventually the data is full, the body hard drive is full, the data is downloaded. And imagine, I've been thinking about this when a replicant, you know, like the data is downloaded, the hard drive body, when we talk about the cyborg, and then you actually have this body hard drive, or, you know, that if the data is full, that you got downloaded, and basically you have no data, and basically meaning that your system is defunct, and basically meaning also that you become a piece of electronic trash. And so Yuki, actually in 2009, when I conceived this project, I was thinking about I should make a IKU sequel, just because I was thinking about these issues of a defunct replicant being dumped at the e-trash, as a piece of e-trash at the e-Trashville by the Gano Corporation. And so what, you know, so I started thinking about Yuki this way. And also I was thinking in IKU, the IKU coder, IKU coder is still, you know, sort of working for the company, for the corporation. But in Yuki, I want to kind of reverse, like how the Yuki could actually sort of revenge the big corporation. And at the end, it's about like how to reclaim on orgasm data. And so in this way, I actually conceive the story as Reiko would eventually become Yuki, and Yuki is actually a virus. So Yuki, the virus, is in a way, at the end, the virus can take back the orgasm data, you know. And so of course, when I conceived the project in 2009, I was always thinking Yuki as a, you know, I call the title of the film would be called Yuki, and Yuki would be the name of the virus. By the time I finished this movie, and by the time I start working on it, writing the film script, was during the COVID 2000, around 2001, 2002, 2021, 2022. I make the movie in 2022, and now the movie is released in 2023. And so we are still caught with the idea of virus. So in a way, Yuki talking about how we become virus, how we, you know, virus becoming, how actually we could become virus. And virus is definitely not a bad thing. We have to learn and to love the virus, because virus is inside us. You know, you and I, we all have virus inside us now. Either you ever caught COVID or you take the vaccine, you know, either way, you are living, either way you are living with the virus. So this also means our body could be forever changed, because, you know, I talk about this transgenic person, the kind of non-human, human, animal, transgenic, transmutant. And so this is a kind of new ecosystem that I want to start a conversation with, you know. So Yuki eventually is dealing with all these issues, you know, including the time that we live in, you know, living with the virus. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds super interesting.
Okay.
I hope our audience is able to watch it soon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then I would like to finish this interview with you.
Okay.
Glad to talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Have a good screening and let me know. Yeah.